Well, thank you for staying with us. Nigeria's crude oil earnings may be under threat as the aggressive trade tariff policies of the United States disrupt global markets, undermine investors' confidence, and drive down prices. Well, a senior Nigerian oil and gas officer has warned. Addressing media in Abuja, Mr. I think we'll take it up from where I stopped with Mr. Onigbinde, looking at what Trump's policies, but specifically for you, I'd like you to help us look at how it affects the international oil market. We've seen that flip-flop in the price of crude, just like we've seen with stock markets. How does it affect a country like Nigeria, and how do we play in all of this back and forth with Trump's tariff?
These reductions in crude oil prices, like the ace said, oil prices, like the ace said in his press conference, is challenging for the country's economy. The government has a budget. In that budget, it had some to the government, to the federation, meaning the federal government, the state governments, and local governments. Did I cover your question?
Yes, you did. When that happens, what happens to what options do we have? Let me ask there. What options do we have if we cannot ramp up production and that happens? There's a drop in revenue. Yes.
It's a massive, massive asset to our country and can do a lot of good with propping up the economy. Yes, we talk about diversifying. Yes, we talk about new energies and alternatives. Let us use the one we already have. NNPC belongs to all of us. All of the government has set for them, or should I say they have set for themselves, 3 million barrels per day. Requires a lot of investment. It will not be easy to reach, but it's a smart and achievable target. And if we get our investments right, it's a target that will ease some of the revenue challenges that we have as a country. We do know that some debts, there's some forward sales of crude oil, there are some debts that have to be paid off. And so the only way as a country we can pay the outstanding debts, but also generate enough revenue for the growth of the country is to push up the crude oil production, and 3 million barrels a day is a fantastic target.
That really is a good one. But let me follow up by asking you. I know before now, years before, we've had this conversation around the PIA, even before it became law and all. What about adhering to the rule of law around the Petroleum Industry Act? Many would say that there's been a bit of, not really following the law to the latter. Are we following through with the provisions of the PIA? We've deregulated the market and all of it. What more should be done? Are we getting the benefits of this document after years before we got it passed? I'd like you to speak around that.
The PIA, as I have said to you before, it's a good document. It's not perfect, but in very many ways, it's as good as it gets. It's a really good document. Implementing it requires changes, and those changes have taken time. I am one of the critics of the authority, of the government. That's my job, to push them to move faster to implement the PIA. I think, however, I must also agree that it's taken time, but we are gradually getting there. there are quite a number of rules and regulations that we in the industry will engage with them. So we see the progress that they are making. In my engagements with them, we continue to insist that they are the primary regulator in this industry, the Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. And we have always wanted a very strong regulator. That regulator must have the respect of everybody operating in the industry, and all of us, everybody in the industry must listen to them, must follow their leadership. And so long as they continue to be forward-looking, they continue to consult, they continue to lead, we think that all players in the industry should work with them and encourage and push them to implement everything that is in the PIA and serves our interests.
Great stuff. Let's move to energy transition, which is also something that is burning, and I'm sure would also be raised even at the IMF spring meetings. Energy transition is what everyone is looking at now. Cleaner energy and all of that, moving away from fossil fuel and all. But that argument that many would say that in local parlance, I've had that conversation many times, that Nigeria needs oil to even move away from oil. So I don't know, how does that come to you? Some say we just need to focus on reducing emissions and not just outrightly thinking that we could just move away from fossil fuel. I don't know what you think around that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
You're talking about energy transition.
Yes, I'm talking about energy transition, reducing emissions and all of that.
Okay, so I am one of those that believe that the latest, you call it flip-flop by the American government, the change of direction, the about turn, is a bump in the road. Drill, baby, drill will push out a lot of crude oil. I do not think that I think at some point in time, that ship has sailed. We will go back to trying to manage carbon emissions. For Nigeria, however, I say that we are energy poor in Nigeria. We do not simply have enough energy to meet the needs of 200 million Nigerians. So, while supporting drilling for oil, exploring, growing our output to 3 million to 4 million barrels per day, I don't think that will solve our energy needs in the country. So we will always have needs to A, increase the energy output, and B, move to alternative energies. So whether it is hydroelectric or gas or solar or biofuels, Nigeria does need to invest in its energy mix, does need to invest in alternative energies, and does need to invest in sustainability. We need to change our energy mix. We need to provide access to energy for the millions of Nigerians that need to cook, for mobility, and for light, for students to read, for lights, for productivity in the country. We need to embrace alternative energies, and we need to manage the carbon emissions for the future of the country, for the future of the world.
This conversation, we need to talk about refining. I remember before the Dangote refinery came on stream, what's happening, the back and forth and all of it. But even at the moment, we're still having issues maybe with crude supply, naira for crude and all of it. How are you also going to react to this? Basically, you're a major player in this sector. Where are we with regards to many will say Nigeria has now become, well, we now export petroleum products to some countries. I'm aware Dangote has been doing that maybe to Saudi Arabia and to the United States at a particular time. But what would you say? Are we now getting the positives of being a refining country? And what are your expectations even from the Port Harcourt refinery, the Kaduna refinery that's also on stream and all of that? If all of these refineries and the modular ones come on stream, do you think that as consumers, we would start to get the positives, talking about pricing?
So I think that we are extremely fortunate to have the Dangote refinery in Nigeria. It's the biggest refinery in Nigeria. In fact, if you look at the Atlantic Basin, you look at, there will perhaps soon be a refinery that can compete in Mexico. But all the other refineries, they're not mega refineries in the Atlantic. The other mega refineries you can find in India, in South Korea, in the Arabic Gulf. Having Dangote in Nigeria, in Africa, is a major opportunity, a major advantage, and as a country, we need to take full advantage of it. And having, I read that in the press conference, the H said that 83 licenses, I think refining licenses have been signed, turning Nigeria to a refining hub is a great opportunity because we do have oil, and we have oil along the West African coast. We have oil along the Southwest African coast. There's oil in very many available to us just across the Atlantic, whether we're talking about WTI or we're talking about South America. Accessing oil is not our problem, crude oil I'm talking about. Turning Nigeria to a refining hub because of our location is a great opportunity because of AFTA. Supplying Nigeria, supplying West Africa, supplying Central Africa, supplying the whole of Africa is an opportunity for economic growth. It's an opportunity for self-sustenance. It's an opportunity for us to grow our economy. It's an opportunity for us to protect ourselves from the volatile nature of what is happening in the rest of the world. I think that we need to find a way, all of us, to support the Dangote refinery, to support the NNPC refineries, to support all the refineries that are coming to ensure that we can take advantage of all the opportunities that are available to us as a country, for ourselves and for the continent.
Do you also see the federal government's refineries now also playing a role in this?
There is work to be done. There's work to be done in the NNPC refineries. They have invested in Port Harcourt. They have invested in Warri. Wow. They have invested in Kaduna. They still have some work to do to bring them up to speed, to bring them to upgrade the refineries, to produce products that can be used both within the country and exported in terms of the quality. There's work to be done. And I have also suggested that, well, we have a new management in place. Let's see what they propose to operate those refineries. There may be other methods of being able to operate those refineries efficiently and avoid the mistakes of the past.
Finally, before I let you go, I'm going to ask you this question. Are members ready to key into, of course, this diversification, if I'm allowed to use that word, of energy mix? And that's why the name was changed, obviously, LPG and all of that. Are your members now having that capacity to key into all of this, gas plants and all of that, as we move gradually away, or make that energy mix that we are looking at? Are members ready for this too?
Not only are they ready, they're already doing it. We're introducing these alternative energy, solar. Many of our stations are run by solar installations. We are introducing CNG. We will sell it, but we'll also use it. Some of our trucks of our members are being changed to CNG trucks for distribution of products. We do believe in other energies. Gas, yes, but solar also, and we also have engagements with to bring on board ethanol, for instance. So we do believe that my members are actively participating in bringing about the change in energy mix.
I think it's a good way to live it. Thank you so much for your time, Executive Secretary, Chief Executive Officer, Major Energies Marketer